What if I told you that the phone of the future already exists today? Well, that would be partly true. Many elements of what a cell phone will be in the future already exist today, and our smartphones are precursors of what phones will become. Phones do a whole lot of things today. Heck, most of you are probably watching this video through your phone right now. But let's strip away all the unnecessary details and simplify things just a little bit. At its core, a cell phone is a cordless telephone, and a telephone is a device that connects people in different locations using radio waves or wires. While the modern cell phone has evolved far beyond their prehistoric counterparts, their fundamental purposes remains unchanged. It's facilitating connections between individuals. But what lies ahead in the progression of the cell phone? What groundbreaking improvement can we expect? What's the next revolutionary moment for cell phones at large? And how does the tech of tomorrow's phones already exist today? Well, join us today as we explore these questions and delve into what the future of cell phones might hold. The future of the cell phone lies in augmented reality. AR is a technology that overlays digital elements such as images, videos, or 3D objects onto the real world. It enhances our perception of reality by adding virtual elements that interact with our environment, typically through a camera or display device like glasses or a smartphone. AR combines real and virtual worlds to provide an enhanced and interactive user experience. Now, this technology isn't some fantasy tech from the future. As I've mentioned before, it already exists today. There are some applications that you may still even use to this day that uses AR, such as Snapchat filter or any other filter that you use on social media. It utilizes AR to overlay filters and effects onto your users' faces in real time. And don't forget about that game that went viral in 2016, Pokemon Go, a mobile game that introduced AR to a wider audience. Players use their cell phones to capture virtual Pokemon characters that appear in real-world locations through their phone's camera. I believe this immersion will be the new cell phone. Now, cell phones today are obviously a lot faster and a lot better than they've ever been before. They have come such a long way from what they were even just 10 years ago. For example, here's an iPhone 5 from 2013. Now let's compare it to what an iPhone 14 from 2023 looks like. The newer phone has better cameras, improved features, and so on. However, take a closer look, and you might notice something peculiar. It actually looks the same. Now, I know it has a lot of improvements, but it really looks like the same phone with a bigger screen. And that's what's been bugging me. It seems like cell phones have reached a plateau. Just try to imagine what a revolutionary cell phone might look like. You know, when something reaches its peak, there's only so much you can tweak to make it better. Have we come to a point where there are no more revolutionary moments for the cell phone? What does it mean for the future of cell phones when newer models look very similar to older ones and they don't really have any special or interesting features of older ones? I mean, if you buy a flagship phone this year, the incentive to buy another flagship phone that comes out next year might be lower because the upgrades might not be that significant. And another thing is, phones today have definitely lost their character. No more weird and cool little quirks like the phones that came before. Every year a new cell phone is unveiled, it's almost predictable what's going to be improved. A better camera, faster processing speeds, higher screen resolutions, infinite storage, and of course, the removal of features that people still appreciate, like a headphone jack or removable battery. And sure, we have phones that can fold now, boohoo. I guess that's pretty cool, but that's not necessarily revolutionary. Nothing truly gets you excited anymore because it honestly feels like we've seen everything. But as of right now, phones don't really need all that much. They're pretty sufficient as they are. They fulfill their purposes quite well, considering they're just boring squares. And these squares are essentially cameras, TVs, calling devices, and everything you might need in a cell phone. With that, I can say they may not be another revolutionary moment, such as the equivalent of Steve Jobs presenting the iPhone. Well, unless we factor in AI and AR. I believe the next evolution of the cell phone is the no phone concept. No, not that one. What I mean rather is the idea of not actually having a phone to carry at all. Oh, there it is. When I envision cell phones in the future, I don't imagine a square or a rectangle or whatever this shape is. And let's not get started on the idea of transparent phones because I don't want to see my hand every time I have to use my phone. I mentioned that the future of phones already exists today. AR is already here. Have you ever seen Tony Stark talking to Jarvis in an Iron Man movie, or people in futuristic movies playing with holograms? I believe that the future cell phones, probably not exactly like the movies, but I imagine that our cell phones in the future will be from a simple earpiece with some sort of eyewear, whether that's contact lenses or glasses. With these devices, people will be able to do everything our current devices do, and possibly a lot more. Obviously, there's a lot of development that needs to be happening to reach the stage, but we already have the capability of doing it, and let me explain. If you have a smartphone right now, and you're wearing some nice Bluetooth headphones, you can essentially ask your phone to do a number of things without taking it out of your pocket. For example, while taking a walk, if you notice that, man, it's very hot outside, you can say, "Okay Google," or "Hey Siri," and ask the weather. Just like Jarvis from Iron Man, Google or Siri will respond to whatever question you have. And not only that, when these assistants are integrated with AI and are actually able to interact with your device and storage and so forth, the possibilities will be endless. You can ask them, "Hey Google, call mom," and the phone will start ringing in no time. I honestly love this feature and I actually use it all the time myself. It makes me feel like I'm truly in the future. But that's only one aspect of it. There also needs to be a visual element as well, the AR part. Currently, to experience immersive AR, you need bulky screens that make you look like a kid learning how to walk. Your phone also has some AR features like walking directions on Google Maps, but you still have to hold your phone out for that. And that's what's currently lagging behind to make this full immersion idea of cell phones a reality. But this is where the future lies, a future that you can forget that you're actually carrying a cell phone, because it's seamlessly integrated into your life. Imagine walking down the street and seeing digital overlays of navigation directions, real-time translations, or contextual information about your surroundings without ever taking out your phone, because you don't have one. So the future of cell phones lies in seamless integration of AR into our daily lives. While the physical rectangular devices we know today might become obsolete in the near future, the core purpose of connecting people will always remain.